Hi there, yo friends. I'm Sean the Modern Yeoman, and recently I've been getting a lot of questions via my email about money. How much does it cost to buy a homestead? How much does it cost to run a homestead? Per year, per month, per animal? You quit corporate, right, Sean? Well, how do you guys put bread on the table? What's your secret? The truth is, there's no simple, cut and dry answer to these questions. The costs of property vary widely depending on where in the country or world you're at. The size of your operation will obviously determine how much money you're going to be ending up spending for it. As for how we put bread on the table, well, the honest answer is we get creative. Holly has her own online business, and though I took last year off to get the homestead up to speed, I'm transitioning back into a side hustle, namely property and drone photography. I'm also open and eager to learn about what other revenue streams I might be able to start growing, even if they're not exactly what you'd call traditional. Take investments in things like the stock market or real estate or even cryptocurrency. I've known people that have actually made quite a bit of money in some of these various investments, but I've also known people that have gotten burned really bad and gotten involved in scams and lost money. Is something like cryptocurrency or some sort of crazy side hustle or any other investment solid or a complete and utter crapshoot? Number one, I'm not what you'd call a financial advisor by any means, and I honestly don't have enough information based on these very minimal investments I've made to give you a solid answer. But with the help of people that do know the answer to these questions, I'd like to find out. And I'd like to share with you what I find out. That's why over the next few weeks and months, you'll start to see a new style of video weaved in here and there on the channel, a series that I'm tentatively calling Homestead Hustlers. I'm still going to do the Work With Me Wednesdays. I'm still going to do the Homestead Update and Walk Around episodes. You'll get to see all the nitty-gritty fun when I get pigs or when I get my hands dirty in the garden. But I have felt led recently to provide some sort of resource to you guys, some sort of content that can help you guys, not only to grow and raise your own food, but to grow and raise your own income as well, if you're interested in that kind of thing. Those of you that keep up with the YouTube homesteading scene might remember a few years back when Justin Rhodes went on the Great American Farm Tour, where the Rhodes fam essentially traveled the nation visiting smallhold farmers and homesteaders and kind of saw how they ran their operations. It was a really cool series to see how people not only ran their lives, but ran their small homestead and small farm operations. Well, I'd like to do something similar, but focused more on how people make money for their homesteads and small farms, especially if they've bootstrapped something on their own. Now, a lot of folks do agriculture-related businesses. Sure, they sell eggs or pastured meat, honey, seeds, things like that, and that's something that we want to do eventually. But I have come across a growing number of people that want to homestead or live off the land. They want to grow their own food. They even want to work for themselves, but they don't necessarily want to get into the farming business. Maybe their bailiwick is software development or photography or woodworking or power washing or hosting Airbnb stays. And while the paths to get there may look different, the goals essentially remain the same: food independence and financial independence. I want to interview these folks. Am I going to start off by traveling around the country in a bus? Not yet, but I would like to start traveling in the local area and in East Tennessee, North Carolina, and maybe some other places, and actually get on farms and start talking to people. Hold that thought for a second. As I was talking, I realized there's something big back in these woods. Let's see if I can hear it. Whatever it was stopped making noise. I'm gonna guess a deer, because we have been dealing with a lot of deer back here. But it sounded big. Interesting. Okay. Where was I? I've already got some folks lined up to talk to here in the next, like I said, few weeks or few months. And I'm excited to learn. Is this going to turn into a financial channel? No, it is not. It's going to be a homesteading channel. But a homesteading channel that's going to have occasional spurts of wisdom and knowledge from people that have gone before me and are making a financial lifestyle work on their homesteads or small farms. A common thread is going to be people that aren't necessarily in the agricultural business. They're not in the farming business per se, but they do run their own homesteads. They do grow their own food and they grow their own income. That's the long and short of it. And I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update and show you and let you know that this is going to be coming down the pike. Most of the content's going to be the same. There's going to be videos interspersed where I talk to other homesteaders about how they're making it work. I didn't really see too many of these videos on YouTube, and I thought maybe I could add something to that conversation. And so that's why I'll be doing it. It's an experiment in a way, but just about everything on here, on this homestead, is an experiment. Don't be surprised if you see some of these videos come down the pike in the next few months. Meanwhile, if you know any homestead hustlers, people that grow their own income or have their own small side hustle or large side hustle on their homesteads, on their small farms, or even in their normal houses or apartments, let me know. Maybe they've got a YouTube channel that I'm not aware of. I'd love to check it out, or maybe it's you. Obviously, not everyone's comfortable talking about their finances, and that's okay. That's understandable. But there are some people that do like to share how they've achieved some success in their endeavors, in their business endeavors, in their hustling endeavors. Those are the types of people I'd like to talk to. So, like I said, let me know, either in the comments or in my email. I'd love to hear about these people and potentially talk to them. Meanwhile, things are obviously kind of slow on the homestead itself, it being the middle of January and all, but take a look at these. I mentioned it in a few episodes ago, but these field peas, they just are not dying at all. We've had several nights of frost, weeks of frost, and snow on the ground. And these things are almost like grass. They just haven't died at all. Also, another little bit of news that's kind of funny. Fighter has been sparring with Lucky. We've had some suspicions that Lucky might be a rooster. Hey, Lucky. There's Lucky right there. See how big Lucky is? Got those pin feathers on the neck. I think Lucky might be a rooster even more seriously than I thought before. The fact is that Lucky and Fighter, there's Fighter, there's Lucky, have been sparring. They've been fighting with each other. Not horribly. They've just been kind of puffing up at each other. They obviously haven't damaged each other really bad. There's no blood been drawn, but they're sparring a little bit. So that situation's going to be really interesting, and I'm very curious to see how it plays out. If things get really bad, we'll have to get rid of one of these chickens, one of these roosters. So how are we going to make money for the homestead in 2022? Well, we're going to find that out together. Thanks for hanging out with me in this kind of announcement video, my friends. And until I see you guys next time, remember, as always, slowly, slowly.